I'm Lucas Grant, 33. A month after I married Sophie, I moved my $1 inheritance, an oceanfront estate plus investments, into an irrevocable trust with me as trustee. Call it cautious, call it paranoid. Either way, it was the smartest $5 grand in legal fees I've ever spent. I grew up watching my dad lose our family farm to a slick, sure-thing deal. I promised myself I'd never let paperwork and charm separate me from what my family built. So while Sophie posted honeymoon photos, I met with Daniel, my real estate attorney, and locked the estate down. Sophie heard old beach house, not family legacy. The one time she visited, she paced with a tape measure, saying we could open the kitchen, flip the lot, subdivide. I told myself it was enthusiasm. It was actually reconnaissance. Her circle, Vanessa the designer and cousin Elliot the agent, kept nudging. Put it in both your names. Tax benefits. I smiled, stalled, and kept mowing my grandfather's lawn on Saturdays like always. The ambush won. Tuesday, I walked into our living room and found Sophie in a white-teeth smile beside a woman in a razor-sharp suit. Lucas, this is Clara Briggs, Escu. Sophie slid a manila folder toward me. We've transferred the estate into my name. You'll be out by Friday. The papers were laughable. Party store seals, a ghost notary, and filings from a fake out-of-state service. I closed the folder and asked, "You really think I'd let that happen?" 2 days later, they arrived at the estate with a moving truck and froze. On the porch with me was Mark Henderson from County Records holding a blue file. This property has been in an irrevocable trust since March 14th, he said. Any later transfer is void and looks like attempted fraud. He held up their paperwork. This notary doesn't exist. The filing service is a sham. Proceed, and I forward it to the DA. The movers reloaded their dollies. Sophie went sheet white. Clara tried, "There must be a misunderstanding." Mark didn't blink. Being married doesn't grant you the right to forge documents. They left with nothing but tire tracks. Their legal tantrum and our counter. 3 days later, I got a gold letterhead demand from Clara, $200K marital, compensation, joint title, and monthly emotional suffering support. She even argued my trust was invalid because Sophie wasn't properly informed before the wedding. I took it to Sonia Patel, the estate attorney who'd helped draft the trust. She read it, smirked, and wrote a cease and desist with teeth. Then she started pulling threads. Using Mark's records, Sonia traced the fake filing back to Sophie. Sophie had registered the bogus filing service, commissioned the documents, and hired Clara to front it. This wasn't confusion. It was a premeditated scheme. We sent Clara the evidence packet and the warning. The bluster stopped. The smear campaign. When fraud failed, Sophie went scorched earth. She called my relatives and my grandfathers old. Friends claiming I'd manipulated a demented old man into changing his will. My cousin Megan recorded the calls. We built a timeline. The trust predated any decline. Medical notes showed my grandfather was sharp. Witnesses were ready to testify. We circulated a statement of facts to family. Most apologized. A few didn't. That was fine. I wasn't running for office, just protecting the truth. Professional consequences. Sophie forgot the first rule of war. Guard your own flank. She was a junior partner at Haven Realty Group, a boutique firm that sells ethical excellence. Sonia and I delivered a calm, devastating packet to their compliance team. Fake stamps, fraudulent filings, Mark's report, Clara's letters, and a tidy timeline labeling the whole thing what it was: attempted theft. 48 hours later, Sophie called, voice hollow. "What did you do?" "Haven suspended me." Soon after, the real estate board opened an ethics case, public, and the DA accepted Mark's referral for attempted property fraud charges, criminal. Stories from Sophie's past clients surfaced. Haven cut her loose. Her license headed for revocation. Her voicemail went from threats to begging in 18 messages. The surrender. 2 months later, a plain envelope arrived from Michael Torres. Attorney at law, not Clara. One sentence said everything. Ms. Grant withdraws all claims to the estate and requests no further contact. No apology, no drama, just surrender. Epilogue at the water's edge. I drove to the coast. The cedar. Shingles had weathered to that soft silver my grandparents loved. The porch still caught the evening wind. Inside, the hand-carved shelves my grandfather made glowed in the late light. He once told me, "You don't just protect what's yours, you protect what it means." The trust kept the house safe. But the real win was quieter. Not being bullied, not being fooled, and not letting someone else's greed rewrite my family's story. On the porch, with the ocean steady beyond the rail, I said it aloud to the empty rooms anyway. It's safe, just like I promised.